Corey, Lewandowski with the right now, Trump campaign manager. You are running, Corey, and it's very good to have you. I know it's been going in and out on your IFB. I apologize. Do you get a sense that he's running about 22 delegates ahead of where he has to be to get to 1247, the magic number? Do you think he is, in fact, going to get there now?
Well, thanks for having me on, and I can tell you that there is no question, and it is unequivocal, that we will reach 1,237 delegates before the convention. I think our path is actually significantly going to be greater than 1237. We see tonight that Ted Cruz has been mathematically eliminated from securing the nomination on the first ballot. Prior to tonight, John Kasich had already been eliminated, and now it's time to unite behind Donald Trump and make sure that we have the strongest Republican candidate heading against a Democrat in November, so we ensure that the Democrats don't continue to hold the White House for 4 more years.
All right, Corey, thank you for correcting me on the 1237. You're thinking after all this time I'd know that number. Now, but let me ask you a little bit about these reports you've seen back and forth among new folks who've come into the Trump campaign, urging him to be more presidential, to dial it back a little bit. You have been a big fan of saying Donald Trump should be Donald Trump and not give into that sort of politically correct talk. Where does the candidate stand on this?
Well, here's what I think you see. You know, you've seen a candidate now in 27 states after tonight's sweep of 5 states. He has a formula that clearly works, and what resonates is that he tells the truth to the people. And I think that's something the American people have wanted. You know, the American people are tired of political correctness. They're tired of career politicians who say one thing and do something different. So the refreshing part about Mr. Trump is he says it like it is. You can agree or you can disagree, but you know exactly where he's coming from. And he'll renegotiate trade deals. He'll bring jobs back to our country. He'll get rid of our trade.
Were you against when the talk was last week after his New York victory, when he referred to Ted Cruz as Senator Cruz, Governor Kasich as Governor Kasich? Were you for that? Because within hours, I mean, the next day he was calling him Lion Ted, and now he's taken to criticizing John Kasich's eating habits. By the way, a P.S. on that one. I hope you never have a camera on me when I'm eating. But leaving that aside. Do you think it's just more in Mr. Trump's nature to speak like that and don't rein him in, don't hold him back, don't do this whole presidential demeanor thing?
Look, you know, Mr. Trump has said very candidly he can be as presidential as you want him to be. And he can be boring and read off a teleprompter. And I don't think that's what the American people want. And I think what you see is when Mr. Trump goes to an event and has 15 or 20,000 people at a rally, they want to come hear him tell the truth and not read off a teleprompter.
Well, Corey, it sounds like you won. It sounds like you won that argument. Am I reading this correctly, that you won that argument?
No. Look, there is no argument to win or lose, and there is a time and a place
Corey,
to give
someone was dialing the candidate back or trying to. You seemed, what I heard, to be saying, no, resist that temptation and let Donald be Donald, and now Donald's being Donald, right?
Well, look, Mr. Trump has been and will continue to be the person in this campaign who makes the final decisions, and that's been the case from day one. And when Mr. Trump wants to go out and speak for Mr. Trump, that's what he does. And so if he's at a giant rally, he's going to speak differently at that massive rally than he would in a small venue with 4 or 5 people. And we understand that. That's just the nature of the beast. And so last night in Pennsylvania with 17,000 people in a massive rally, he had that crowd fired up and on their feet, and they refused to sit down. You know, tomorrow when he gives a significant foreign policy speech in Washington, D.C., it's going to be a different tone. And that's what you expect is a well-rounded candidate who can talk to different audiences on different messaging when the time is appropriate.
All right, Corey, thank you. I know you've got to go. We appreciate it very, very much. Always good talking to you. All right.
Neil, very